Okay, so I'm going to explain something that I was thinking on. So basically, when I make the stars disappear, right? When I first did that, I used to think that it was just like I control time and stuff like that, right? Because from science, right, from the observers that perceive science to be a certain way, they perceive the light traveling to your location, right? So that it takes time for the light to get there. Therefore, you're seeing the star in the past from the present, right? And vice versa. So that's how I went about that. I kind of like trusted that what I was taught was right. And, that made me think, okay, I control time because what I was taught was right, right? But in reality, I'm seeing the stars as they are in the present time. That's why I can make them, disappear and so forth. And that's what everybody's able to see in the present time. That's why I'm able to control the stars. And then when I do that, I'm able to record it and other people can see it if I show them, etc. Or if they watch it, if they watch the stars when I make them disappear or so forth, right? So I can explain it even deeper as well for the people that are intelligent enough to perceive what I'm about to, or comprehend what I'm about to tell you. Then you're going to see things from, a more proper perspective. All right, so, and this is something that I was gonna, kind of keep to myself because, science is like, like they're all fucked up. They might think that they know one thing, but they don't know what they think that they know because they're just going off of what they're perceiving, etc., why they progress in the direction that they progress. So it wouldn't be proper for them to just think that they know that and then, not change everything else about it. So they probably won't even do that even though it's the truth. Or they might, it might not be right now, but either way, this is the truth. So I'm going to explain it. Those that are able to comprehend, you're going to learn something, all right? You're going to learn some really deep shit. That's the truth. All right, so when I make the stars disappear, right, I make them disappear in the present. And I already explained, how I perceived it before, but I'm seeing them in the present from my, visual perception in which I'm seeing them, and then not only my visual perception in which I'm seeing them, but the way I'm interacting with them and making them disappear is happening in the present, right? But as a human, right, not like as my power, but like just me as a human, right? If I was to go and meet my power, right, go and meet that star that I made disappear, and I was to travel there, the fastest you can travel right now, at the speed of light, it would be, a long travel, right? So I would be aging as I travel to get there, and that star is going to age as well. Yes. Even if I'm like, looking at the star the whole time and I'm making the star, disappear and then, I'll make it come back or whatever, and I'm traveling towards that star, I'm going to be traveling towards that star, traveling in movement, right? So I'm aging because I'm traveling, because I'm moving, I'm existing while I'm trying to get to a certain destination. I'm existing towards that destination. So I'm aging because my cells are degenerating, etc., right? If you take into consideration your cells, as a human, right? I'm talking about a human. If me as a human is going to go to the star that I make disappear and travel there as a human at the speed of light. So by the time I get there, I'm going to be older. So is that star. You understand? So we both aged. Not just the star itself being that the light had to reach you, if you perceive it in that ignorant sense, because what I just explained just proves that, because I can prove that I make the stars disappear in the present. So in reality, it is as it is in the present, and what makes it age is the movement, basically. I can't even really say time, because the time could be, an illusion or something like that, created, to understand that in which is progressing through time, okay? But just look at it like time, and then what is, or not just look at it like time, but look at it like aging, the aging, if you want to perceive it in an easy way to comprehend, aging, time, right? I moved to the star, traveled to the star, I aged, time passed, right? Time passed for me to get there if I'm moving at the speed of light. And then that star itself is aging because it took me that long to get there. So yes, there would be a difference when I get to that star from where I was when I first started traveling. But from where I perceive it now, there is no difference in its age and my age in the present. You understand? I'm not saying like, that star is way older than I am as a physical being, as a human in flesh. What I'm saying is that star is currently, as I'm seeing it, and as everybody's seeing it right now, because I'm God and I'm on this earth. So it's the present. There is no past. The past doesn't exist anymore, and the future doesn't even exist, because things can end right now. then the future doesn't exist type shit. So like, it is as it is in the present, right? You can set things up for the future, but you can't change the past because the past no longer exists. And it won't exist anymore. That's the truth. Babies, hold on. So, yeah, what I'm saying is time does not exist. There needs to be more thought into what time actually is. And the way that science is progressing off of their understandings isn't proper. Because you can't just, say everything is, based off of your perception, because that's what it would be if you're saying that, because the light from the star takes that long for you to travel to you, you're looking at it from that kind of perception, from the understandings of you understand the photons and et cetera, traveling a certain amount of time, in order to reach a certain destination, hence light speed or whatever, right? But in reality, it is as it is. It just is. It's in the present. And maybe, I don't know if it just changed because I'm here as a human or if it's always been like that, but it is that way for me. So that is the truth, the actual truth. Not like that is for me because I can prove it's that, because I'm making the stars that supposedly are in the past disappear in the present. You understand? And then you take everything that I just explained into consideration. I know that this is something that people are going to want to resist against, and I understand that if you don't have the ability and the intellect to be able to comprehend it properly, you're really going to be trying to resist against what I'm saying. And even if you do have that kind of intellect to be able to comprehend what I just said, it's going to be hard for you to really comprehend. It's going to be hard for you to comprehend. You might have to sit down and think on what I just said to really try to understand it. And then, once you comprehend it, then you'll start to see that what I said is the actual truth. And then those that aren't even able to, perceive the simplest shit, they're really not even going to even try to fucking, comprehend what I'm saying. They might just say, oh, no, this dude's crazy and shit like that, even though I make stars disappear and I can record it and show it on my page and whatnot. I can do it in person as well. And then there's going to be people that, might try to understand it, but then can't fully grasp it. They can't fully understand it. But those people, they just need to work a little harder to understand it. Either way, that is all things that are, possible in the future, in the sense of you being able to comprehend what I just said. And the future is the future. You can work towards that, but if the future doesn't exist, then it was for nothing. But if it still exists, then you know the truth type shit. But that's only the truth in one area, you know what I mean? Like, I have a saying, ignorance can contribute to value, but it's not true value. And then understanding is only part of the equation, you understand? So you can understand this, but that's only part of the equation, because that's only understanding that, time is only I guess God, God is whatever, God is, this is something you need to think on. But the thing is, I'm thinking on this as well, and I understand that time, right, goes off of me in that sense, but not at the same time, because time doesn't exist. I'm just saying, me seeing the stars in the present and being able to control them in the present means that the whole fucking understanding of the photons traveling, light speed and everything like that, that is just the human perception of what it is, but it's not the actual truth. So I'm telling you the actual truth, in which I need to think on to understand at the same time. Even though I'm God, but I'm God as a human, so I have a human brain. And maybe because I'm God, I think the way I do, and I'm able to comprehend things to the extent that I'm able to comprehend them, and be able to think into things as deep as I can think into them to find solutions, etc. I don't know. But either way, this is not something that's going to be, accepted right away. Just like when I say I'm God, and I'm able to prove it, it's not something that's accepted right away, even though it should be. If you have the proper understanding and stuff like that, you would say, oh, if he can make the stars appear, yeah, he is God. Duh, why was I so stupid? I think he wasn't or something. But you don't have the understanding to even perceive it that way. So what I'm saying is, this is something that might be frowned upon, because you might not be able to comprehend, you might not want to comprehend, accept, etc. It's not something traditional, or it basically just casts away your entire existence of what you thought you knew type shit. But at the same time, it's the truth. So yeah, it's not something that's going to be, widely accepted or something like that. I understand I'm not fucking retarded, obviously. But anyways, yeah, I might post this on YouTube and maybe Instagram, because it's interesting, I think of a lot of interesting things, and I talk about a lot of things that you guys aren't even worthy of. Like this, you're not even fucking worthy. Because I already know that you guys are going to fucking resist against it. Even though I'm God, you should just be you should just trust God. You should just, and even if it shouldn't be hard for you to trust God. But I can go deeper, right? Let's take that out of the equation, right? and just say, you should trust the knowledge that I spoke and see how real it is and how much sense it actually makes. When you take the facts, the evidence, etc., and you put everything together, you're going to see that it's real, it's the truth. So, yeah, but you should just trust God. Like, you should just trust that I know what I'm talking about when I talk about something like this. Like, I'm going to tell you something like this. I obviously fucking thought on it. Could have thought on it more and find the solutions and everything like that, but it's not like an easy solution. You understand? Like, it's obviously not an easy solution. Babies, no, don't do that, babies. But anyways, so this is basically just for fun, right? Because like I said, I wasn't even gonna tell you guys this shit. Because usually I think on this kind of stuff that I know until I find a solution. But this time I decided, fuck it. Because this actually cast away what they fucking perceive as real and shit like that. But it's the truth. I don't have the fucking full answers and the understandings and everything like that as to why, besides me being God. And maybe that's the answer itself. And, it just is type shit. But I'm going to think on it even more. So that's the thing. So I'm telling you guys some shit that hasn't really been, this has never been, touched upon, because nobody can do what I can do. No one can make the stars disappear, right? So, besides me. So since I can do that, I'm able to perceive things differently. You understand? So since I can do that, I'm perceiving things differently because I'm God, and I'm God as a human, all right? My power is obviously above me being human. That's why I'm able to make the star disappear. Because me as a human, to travel there, it would take time. You understand? But my power in itself isn't bound by time. So humans are bound by time in their existence, basically. But me, I'm not. I'm bound by time as a human, but then at the same time, being God, I'm not bound by time. So it's like time doesn't exist. So that whole notion of time in itself, and from what I said, you can find solutions, right? You can understand like a lot of fucking shit, how powerful God actually is, how powerful I actually am, given my power. You understand? And then my wisdom in which I speak as a human, being down here like with humans and shit like that, fucking speaking about this shit you guys are gonna fucking go against when it's the fucking truth, and I already fucking proved from God, and then so forth and so forth. It's like, and then it's funny because you guys, a lot of you guys, the masses, don't even understand the basics, right? You don't even understand the fucking basics. Like, you give fucking value to fucking paper because you're meant to perceive it as being valuable, Like, paper could be valuable, but I'm saying like valuable to the extent you perceive it, because the same kind of paper that makes a $1 bill makes a $100 bill, etc. A little bit more ink or something like that, maybe, or not. It doesn't matter if you use a little bit more. The difference in which, that same paper is $1, but yet $100 is actually by your government, putting the money, the serial numbers on there and everything like that, and building the system off of it. That's what gives it this value. So the system in which is created around it, in which you are meant to perceive it, gave it its value, But yeah, I'm not gonna go too far with all that. I'm not scared to talk about any of this shit. You try something, it's like, come on, like, I control the fucking stars. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of any government, nothing. All right, so this is gonna be all over the internet, and if you think I'm crazy, then you're denying the truth. This is the truth though, because I can make the stars disappear, and I prove that shit, and I can prove it in person as well. So, do you think my knowledge and shit like that wouldn't be above someone that can't fucking do that? It's like common sense, but not only that is it common sense, but it's just the way I am. It would be above. Like, come on. Anyways, yeah. So this is gonna be an interesting video, but I'll probably post it on YouTube, like I said, and Instagram. Yeah. So whatever.